So this video got recommended to me a couple days ago, and then also someone sent it to me in a group chat that I'm in. It's Super Mario 64's unopenable door that has finally been opened. What's up, Co? Welcome to the stream.
In Super Mario 64, there's a star in Cool Mountain that goes as follows. You enter the cabin at the top of the mountain, go all the way down the slide, and then exit from the cabin at the bottom of the mountain. And that spawns the star for you to collect. But something everyone always tries is going back into the door. Though as you find out, that doesn't work. And let me tell you, as a kid, I really wanted to get back in there. I mean, we were just in there, but the idea of a door that you can't open from this side just made me want to open it that much more. And let me clarify something. For most doors in the game, opening them just takes you from one side of the door to the other. And so if you clip through the door, like by getting pushed by an object, then you can bypass the door. But some doors are special, because opening them unloads the current area and warps you to a new area. If you clip through this kind of door, you don't actually go to the new area. Instead, you just end up in a sort of fake area behind the door. In other words, the only way to load the new area is to literally open the door, because that triggers the transition between areas. Now, the door in Cool Mountain is the kind that loads a new area. See, opening it unloads the slide area and loads the outside area. Now, since there are two different areas involved, there are two different door objects involved. There's one door in the slide area that warps you outside. Everyone's opened that door before. And there's one door that's outside that warps you back into the slide. But no one's ever opened that door before. So to emphasize, this is actually a fully functional door, despite that it was given a special model
no door
that
handle,
doesn't have
though.
a doorknob on the outside. So the reason you can't open the door from the outside is not because the door doesn't work, but simply because the cabin wall blocks you from getting close enough to the door to open it. As you can see on the right, the wall triangles.
There's an invisible wall. Those sneaky buggers at Nintendo. Okay, I always wondered, like, why? That's why. Did you see the 3-hour video on invisible walls? No, I didn't.
Cover the whole
I haven't sat down for 3 hours and watched a video about Mario 64 invisible walls, although I probably will watch it at some point.
Whole side of the cabin without any opening for the door. But if the walls were gone, as I've done here with hacks, then we could get close enough to the door to open it and re-enter the cabin. That raises the question, can we open the door without any hacks? Well, going back to the door, let's look at it from above. Here are the floor triangles around the cabin. Note that there are no floor triangles inside the cabin. Here's the door's hitbox, so if Mario walks into that hitbox, he opens the door. And to emphasize, he must be walking to open the door. No other action works. And then here's the cabin wall and its hitbox. If Mario enters that hitbox, he gets pushed south. So the door's hitbox basically has two parts to it. The south part that's inside the wall hitbox, and the north part that's not inside the wall hitbox, but it's in the air. Remember, for Mario to open the door, he has to walk into the door hitbox. But that's seemingly impossible for both parts of the hitbox for different reasons. For the south part of the hitbox, if Mario tries to walk into it, the wall pushes him away to the south. This wall push happens every time he moves forwards, and so he's not able to be inside the door's hitbox when the game checks if he's touching it. And for the north part of the hitbox, it is possible to get there. See, we can deliver the baby penguin to the mother penguin, and then re-grab the baby penguin to make the mother penguin get mad at us and follow us around. And the mother penguin has a hitbox that pushes Mario outwards. So we can use the mother penguin's hitbox to push Mario through the cabin wall and into the door hitbox. But even though he touches the north part of the hitbox, he still doesn't open the door.
Yo. How do they... That's crazy.
Because he's in free fall, not in the walking action.
Okay, right, he has to be
the door
walking.
Seems impossible to open, and that's what everyone believed for 28 years. Until April 22nd, 2024.
That's so blurry.
When Alex Palix posted this video on Discord.
Alex Palix.
He had found a way to do it, but how does it work? Well, we already knew you could use the mother penguin to clip behind the wall. But of course, since there's no floor there, that puts Mario into free fall, and you can't open doors in free fall, only when walking. So to solve this, Alex Palix did a turnaround. See, there's an interesting thing about the turning around action, which I've explained in a previous video, and that's what actually gave Alex the idea to use it to open the cabin door. But I'll explain it again now. So when Mario turns around, he goes into the turning around action, and then a bit later, he transitions into the walking action because he finished turning around. Here's the code for the turning around action.
Do these people have jobs? Genuine question, or is this their job?
And here's the relevant logic. So when Mario finishes turning around, he goes into the walking action. But a bit earlier, we have the code that handles his movement. This one says if Mario leaves the ground, put him into the freefall action. So the issue is that the programmers never expected these two conditions to happen on the same frame. If they do, then the logic goes like this. First, Mario left the ground, so he goes into the freefall action. And then second, Mario finished turning around, and so he goes into the walking action. So that first action change gets overwritten by the second action change. And so even though Mario left the ground, he still ends up in the walking action. Now this exploit by itself just results in one frame of walking in midair before transitioning to freefall on the next frame. But that one frame of walking in the air is all we needed, and that was enough to open the door. Let's play it again. On this frame, the Mother Penguin's hitbox pushes Mario through the wall and into the air. And also on that frame, Mario finished turning around. So first his action got set to freefall, and then his action got set to walking. And since he's now walking inside the door's hitbox, he opens the door. And you'll notice that Mario downwarps to the death barrier when he opens the door, because Mario's programmed to snap down to the floor every frame when he's in the door opening action. But fortunately, the death barrier doesn't kill him because it has...
Bro, look at that. He's right below me.
Has no effect when Mario's in a cutscene action like opening a door. Now one question that this brings up is, does this technique save time in a run? After all, if we can enter the cabin at the bottom, then we can just exit from there and get the star, skipping the whole slide. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. On the left, I'm showing the current strat for the star, which involves entering the cabin at the top of the level, going all the way down, and then exiting from the cabin at the bottom of the level to get the star. And on the right, I'm showing the potential new strat for the star, which involves going into the cabin at the bottom of the level and then immediately exiting to get the star. But even in this new strat, we still have to spend time going to the bottom of the course. And then there's the whole process of interacting with the Mother Penguin and luring her into place. And interestingly, triggering the star this way actually messes up the camera during the star's cutscene, though that doesn't cause any trouble. And so in conclusion, even though we can use this technique to skip the whole slide, it doesn't actually save any time. But regardless, it is pretty cool that Super Mario 64's unopenable door has now finally been opened. And now for this video's member event. In case you missed it from my last video, all my regular videos from now on are going to have a member event at the end, where all the member names participate in the event.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Now, last time there were... Further ado, let's begin. Okay, off to a good start. In the back, there's a mad dash to get out of the cabin and squeeze through that tiny opening. But it looks like everybody made it onto the slide. Oof, we already lost our first person.
I'll bet.
And there goes another one. Man, you guys are ruthless. Is winning really worth pushing your fellow competitors off the edge? Yes. Yes, it is. And now for the first...
Who's the final?
They all make it across. Oh, we lost humanity. And for the other 5, they all made it. But who got first? Well, if we check the instant replay, we can see that Midnight Posting was the first across the finish line. So, congrats to our first place finisher, Midnight Posting.
Nice.
And good job to the other people who also made it to the...
It's so crazy that these games, they're still pushing the boundaries and like figuring out all this crazy stuff all these years later. It's unreal. Great video. Make sure you follow this guy. Give it a thumbs up. He has a lot of classic, great videos.